What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. I'm gonna warn you, this one's gonna hurt. If you grew up in farmland America, so many people in America, millions of people, grow up either on farms or around farms. This one's gonna suck because John Deere has gone completely and totally woke. I grew up in a cornfield in Iowa, surrounded by cornfields and hog farms. I worked on farms in order to make scratch, to go to school, went to the community college and University of Iowa, where all the tech is like built out by John Deere. The community college I went to had like a John Deere center. So this is something that I have close personal experience with. Members of my family worked for John Deere. Where John Deere is located in Moline is where my parents lived for 20 years. And so I know this brand really, really well. And man, the modern era sucks. We grew up at Tractor Supply, and that story has a happy ending. But this John Deere one, I guess we'll wait and see. It's breaking right now. The very same Robbie Starbuck, who got himself a very happy ending after going to war, effectively, with the woke inside of Tractor Supply, because Tractor Supply was doing alphabet training, funding Pride Progress events, drag events, sex changes, climate activism, Pride Month decorations in the offices, and DEI hiring practices, along with alphabet events at work, which is like, why would you do this if you're Tractor Supply? Again, it's a totally different thing if you run like a soy company out of Vermont, right? If you're Ben and Jerry's, then we understand that that's your clientele's culture. But this isn't your culture. Right? Your clientele doesn't agree with you here. Well, Tractor Supply, of course, had destroyed their stock value. There was a boycott called for Tractor Supply, lost billions of dollars. And then Tractor Supply went ahead and did a little, see if you can see the difference. See if you can see the moment when the boycott took effect. See if you can see on the Tractor Supply app here, the total and complete unmitigated victory by you and I and our ability to apply external and internal pressure on this company to change. And this is what happened with Tractor Supply. I'm only going over this because, well, it's about to happen to John Deere. And hopefully it happens quickly, because I'm a big fan of John Deere product, and I'm also a big fan of Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply, in case you needed an update, effectively reversed virtually all DEI woke policies and apologized to their customers and said that they're going to now triple down on funding small farmers and veterans outreach, and that they will no longer be pushing wokeness. Tractor Supply said this in a company statement, and they went insanely viral for this, and everybody viewed it as just a monster success. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here we go, round two. Time to expose John Deere. Apparently, Robbie, who's a friend of the program, has been in contact with whistleblowers inside of John Deere, which is the most beloved tractor brand, I think, inarguably, by conservative farmers. But their woke CEO, John May's watch, they have been funding pride events for kids younger than 3, gingerbread man training, asking employees to their preferred pronouns on all communications, letting Bill Gates be their largest shareholder. Well, that makes sense. Makes sense why they go woke, right? John Deere celebrated accounting and finance team taking United for Equity program. United for Equity programs push all this anti-racist stuff and bigotry against Christians and white people. Woke policies have spread across the global John Deere brand. Many of their DEI policies have been forced on their American employees. And you have, obviously, Alphabet and DEI groups that have their own little carve-outs and racist hiring practices, which you can see here. Right, diversity, equity, and inclusion, right here on the John Deere page, here goes hard in, of course, on anti-whiteness, and like it's just pure racism, right? It's just straight up racism. It really is. It really is remarkable how these things are allowed and how they look at here. Here's the pronouns. There we go. We encourage all employees to use their personal pronouns, such as they, them, and theirs in internal and external communication. It's a sign of mutual respect, and it's a practice for our global company. Look at that, man. Yeah, global. I wonder for who. And then here's all of the professional conferences and NAMBLA organizations that they're part of. So yeah, John Deere going woke. This is not being received really nicely. I mean, now you have people like senators chiming in. Is John Deere the new Bud Light? Libs of TikTok, boycott John Deere. Stop giving money to people who hate you and your values. John Deere is now trending. Let's go ahead and see what Robbie Starbuck has to say about this new conservative company that clearly hates its customers.
All right, y'all, it's time to expose John Deere. As many of you know, we had a very big win recently with Tractor Supply where we got them to drop all their woke policies. Well, I regret to inform you that John Deere, another company that relies on conservative customers, has also gone woke. This page you see behind me is their personal pronoun policy. They encourage employees to use pronouns in all communication. And I'm just warning you now, you're gonna wanna strap in because this is going to be a long video and, in my opinion, much worse than Tractor Supply. But let's continue. This is an event that John Deere sponsored called Capital City Pride's Little Rainbow Run. It was for kids as young as 3 years old to engage in pride. And side note, I don't care if you're gay or straight, kids should not be celebrating what type of sex you like. It's weird, it's creepy. Here's a fun photo we found on LinkedIn. Yes, this is John Deere employees being trained on the genderbread man. Yes, the genderbread man. If you're not familiar with that, it's the whole concept that basically gender is completely fluid. There's no such thing as your biological sex. You just are whatever you think you are. So much like Tractor Supply used to have, John Deere has what are called ERG groups. These are a way to divide people on identity lines. Pure identity politics. They separate you by race, sexuality, or any number of these things. This is a post about their rainbow ERG group, which, if you guessed was their gay group, you were correct. You're gonna wanna see the logos that were made for it. As much as I wish I was joking, I am very much not joking. These are real logos that were posted on LinkedIn. Which, side note, John Deere is much more open about their belief system on LinkedIn than they are on other social medias. I wonder why that is. But you know what? We'll get back to their stuff on LinkedIn in a minute. Let's go check on their diversity, equity, inclusion page. By the way, Bill Gates is their largest shareholder. Are you getting super conservative vibes yet from John Deere? One of many ways they upped the game on DEI was for the financing team leaders to do something called a 21-day United for Equity challenge through United Way. So I decided I should take the 21-day challenge. In this 21-day challenge, it was recommended to me that I read Ibram Kendi's How to Be an Anti-Racist. In this section here, it says that racism is something that we all carry within ourselves. As a result, we must unlearn biased and racist ideas to replace them with tools and actions that are centered around equity, empathy, and solidarity. But enough about Kendi. Here's another one of the challenges I received as part of that 21-day equity challenge. It says, read Awake to Woke to Work, Building a Race Equity Culture, essentially a book about bringing wokeness to work. My other options during that challenge were to review Racial Equity Tool's new glossary of racial equity terms with over 60 terms and new definitions. I mean, this is really the changing of language to try to subvert normalcy. That's what it is. Just so you know, communists have always done this. Another challenge option I received was to listen to the podcast episode, Bias Isn't Just a Police Problem, It's a Preschool Problem. No, I'm not joking. I wish I was. And just when we thought we were done with Ibram Kendi, here he comes. He's back again, and they're discussing his book, Anti-Racist Baby. Yes, that is the children's book about anti-racism, which again means anti-capitalism to Ibram Kendi. This 21-day challenge also refers to Jacob Blake as a victim. It was also recommended to me that I listen to a podcast series called Seeing White to discover the history of how the concept of whiteness came to be. And yes, it is completely derogatory against white people. This 21-day equity challenge from United Way also recommended that I watch the 2018 video Deconstructing White Privilege by Robin DiAngelo. Again, another far left figure. Are you guys wanting to buy a John Deere tractor yet? This challenge also listed white privilege and, yes, Christian privilege as the 5 most common types of privileges. No, they don't mean that in a nice way. You'd be forgiven though if you were totally confused by this, seeing as the same challenge also tells you that race and racial identity are social constructs, in which case I'm not sure how whiteness exists. They never really explain that. But they did tell me 28 common racist attitudes and behavior, which included believing in reverse racism, color blindness, treating everybody the same, or individualism. Also racist, asking a person of color for help. You should be asking white people. But don't only ask white people, because that is also racist, as you see in number 24. Also racist, bending over backwards to help. Shouldn't do that. Also racist. There was a whole lot more crazy, but that's a short summary of that 21-day challenge from United Way. And that was promoted on the John Deere website, that the finance team did that, and apparently they love when employees do things like this because they've given millions to United Way since then. Now, why is all of this happening? Because there's much more, and we have a lot to expose. This is going to be coming out over the course of the next few weeks at the very least. But we need to point out, it seems like all of this has started to happen under CEO John May. John May, since he's been there, has overseen all of these woke policies coming forward, the embrace of DEI, which is just inappropriate. We don't seek our values to be forced on anybody else. We just want neutral workplaces and neutral businesses to buy products from. We don't need your politics or your social values. We just want to have good products, good customer service. That's it.
That's totally and completely, utterly shocking and incredible reporting, once again, by Robbie Starbuck. The more people dig in, the more they realize that John Deere's company code of conduct instructs employees on how to ask for pronouns and encourage them to snitch on non-compliance. This company started off by making plows, and now they want to make gender ideology down your throat. John Deere is super woke. What's a farming company doing with DEI and pride? This is incredible. As a Midwestern John Deere customer, I'm appalled. I'll never buy their product again. People are beginning to now understand what's going on. They're about to get the Tractor Supply and the Bud Light treatment. I'll say this: over the past year, I've been a diehard John Deere backers who've given up on them for many reasons. I'll be following this story. This is incredible. Man, this sucks. My father's been a John Deere folks since long before I was born. We had at least a dozen utilities, compacts, ACs, lawnmowers, you name it. Even have gators for small stuff like hauling deer. Looks like it's time to dump them. So the boycott now officially is on. We'll be watching John Deere stock. It looks like Robbie Starbuck, by the way, is blowing up again. Here, let's go down to the bottom of this tweet. We got 8,000 retweets. This has only been up, by the way, for like an hour. Yeah, this has been up for an hour. It's got 8,000 retweets, 16,000 likes, 1.2 million views. This thing is smoking. Okay? Let's make it happen, baby. This is a painful one for me. Let's go ahead and do the exact same thing that we did with Tractor Supply. Blow this up. Make sure that we trend John Deere every single day, and that we begin to claw back our culture, that we begin to claw back sanity. What does that mean? What is our culture? Like, my culture is, you just make tractors. Shut up about politics. Make beer. Shut up about politics. Be a store. Shut up about politics. Stop making... This is a Marxist tactic to take everything we know and love, whether it's Hollywood, entertainment, to people who play sports ball for a living, to our beer, to our tractors, and make it all a vehicle for politics. Shut up with that garbage. Sick of it. I'm sick of it. And so, on board with this one. Boycott John Deere. I'm here for it. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.